Thank you for stopping by. This is Ryan. So, as per this process for my digital painting, I start with the sketch and then I work with the outline. I go section by section. Right here, I start with the right. We see it as the left eye, and then I duplicate it using the lasso tool. I work my way from the hair up front. Sometimes I'll turn off the layer to see what's happening. Then I go to the ear. And then I work my way to the chin. Just taking my time to lay the outline, as lazy as it may seem. I'm just using the regular pen tool because I've been too lazy to use brushes. I need to learn how to use brushes. Alright. Then I'm working my way around the hair. I capture the line for the shoulders. Then I use the basic lines as I normally do to capture the contours of her blouse. I work my way around the side, bringing it down. I outline the glasses. I bring the arm just a little bit lower because I noticed that it's a bit smaller than the other one. I thought it was because of perspective, but distortion kind of fooled me, so I had to bring it down. I readjust the hand based on how I resized that part of the arm. I work my way on the other arm and eliminate any extra lines that indicate that they're crossing, so you can see where they overlap. Notice here how I'm using a whole lot of contours. I'm using the lines to capture the form from the sketch I did prior to scanning. From the skirt, I work on the line quality for the legs, thighs, legs, feet, slipper. Alright, notice what I did right here. I did not use the specific sketch in that section that I outlined because it seemed off balance to me. So I brought it closer to the center to give it a sense of balance. It made more sense to me at the time. Then I capture the overall form of the book using the same lines. From time to time I adjust the size of the brush, and once I completed the line quality, then I brought in the reference images so I can pick the colors instead of picking the colors and putting them in a palette. I know, lazy me. It's fine. Alright, so in this process what I do is that I take the airbrush after I pick the color and making a separate layer for that part of the painting. I'd call it skin. I'd just brush over the general area. Then I'd use the lasso tool to select the region that I want to take the color out of. So regions like inside the hair, inside the clothes, on the outside, I'd select different regions like that so I can reserve the base colors to within the contours of the liner. Contours of the liner, listen to me like a crazy person. Hopefully it makes sense. Then I made a separate layer for hair. I make a separate layer for eyes. I normally make at least 3 layers for eyes because I want to cover the white region, I want to cover the iris, and I want to cover the pupil. When it comes to highlights and shadings, those normally get their own layers. So a regular painting for me, the eyes would have at least 3 to 5 layers. It could have more depending on what I'm going for, but that's just me. Then I'd put different articles of clothes on separate layers as I see fit, and I use the same process with the lasso tool to keep the colors inside specific regions so I can keep things together. It helps. Persons out there saying we don't need more than 4 layers, but I'm not like that. I like my things to be organized. I noticed then I add another layer for the blouse. Again, going through different regions of the sketch, refining the base color I put over the general region. Then I have the blouse region. Notice that when I'm keeping specific colors inside certain regions, I would select the magic wand tool, then I would select the outline layer, and when I select the outline layer, I would then go back to the respective layer that I want color to be refined inside of, and then erase the color outside of the line art to keep it clean the way you see here. And you have a separate layer for the book, you have a separate layer for the slippers. The different articles of clothing on the body receive their own layers. Not everyone does it, but I'm comfortable with it and I'm sticking to it for now. The glasses get a separate layer, and then it comes to laying in shadow. So this part's important. What I used to do at first is that when I'm laying in shadow, I'd normally go for a grayish, darkish hue, but I realized that I have to lay in my shadows depending on the surface I want to put the shadow on. So here you notice that it's a brown complexion, so to lay in the shadow I'd want to go to the color picker and select a color that is darker than that base color to give it a sense of depth, and to establish where the light source is, coming from. And that's how it goes for most layers that are exposed to light. Then I work out some of the more minor details. Based on where I want to put these shadows. Like on the book, for instance, I slipped up a little there. Because of where the light source is coming from, I would have had to have made that whole region dark instead of up to that curved point. Then I put in the highlights for their respective layers in layers by themselves. I know this sounds weird, but it's easier to deal with when you have to go back and correct something. Notice the use of this tool similar to how it blurs. It's like a blending tool that blends colors into other colors that are below it. So, then I have a separate layer for highlighting the hair. I wasn't sure about the hair type, so I just guessed one. I guessed it was kind of stringy. That's why I made it kind of. That's why I used the airbrush without putting highlights and such in it. And that's basically how it went. So, this is a pilot run to see how well a video that I do a complete voiceover for performs when I upload it. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and as always, remember to stay sharp, and I'll see you again next time.